Hi Cancer, welcome to your May 2023 Astrotarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon or ascendant sign, but remember, because I'm using a lot more astrology in these, you probably want to check for your ascendant sign first. It's going to be the most accurate for that day-to-day level. And check out your sun and your moon as well, just obviously because you're a moon because you are a lunar being, that may speak to you deeper than most people anyway. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So the first, I'm going to pop these to the side because those are going to be for your weeks of the month and for your moons, but we're going to start with your first transit, which is Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, harmony, diplomacy, money, luxuries and goods, is coming into the sign of Cancer. When Venus comes into our sign, especially into the first house, she beautifies you. She makes you more beautiful, right? She's going to enhance the way that you look. She's going to really help you pay more attention to how you look and how you feel about how you look as well. Now, Venus is going to be shining, like, she's going to be beautifying you, but she's going to make you more appealing, more attractive. Venus is an attractant energy as well, which means it has the ability to help you pull in or draw things to you. Now, Venus shines in the night sky, like she shines and shimmers, Venus, the bright star. And for that reason, she's like a show queen, okay? Like she's one of those ones, like Venus, a fancy bitch, right? And she's lending that to you, even for those of you, like even for the guys among you. I know I've got a lot of Cancerian guys out there. More power to you. Thank you for being a part of my community. It really does mean a lot. But she's showing you how to really revel in your own beauty, how to look good and feel good about the way that you look good, right? And I don't think there's enough of that nowadays. Like it's become a superficial kind of like, well, as long as I've got this and this and that and that, and I've had this done and that done, and well, no, is that you really? It's about just feeling good with what you got, right? Really, and doing the best and the most that you can do with just this. She's asking you to value yourself. She's asking you to value your looks, your image, your appearance, your body, and to give yourself all of the good stuff that you need in order to enhance those things. Buy the face cream, right? That's a little bit more pricey. Get have the massage, eat the delicious chocolate, especially chocolate, because Venus loves sweet things, right? So if you are a Cancer, sun, moon or ascendant, you're probably going to feel that, you're probably going to really feel that sugar rush or that need for some sugar come in. Or maybe it's like the other kind of sugar, you know what I'm saying? Very possible. But just be mindful of that, right? So as she immediately then begins to head towards a trine to Saturn in your 9th house, this could be you making long-term making changes in the present that have long-term implications, but the flow is there, the ease is there, but it has long-lasting results because it's set into motion with that trine to Saturn. So for this, you have the Page of Pentacles. So especially if this is like a business endeavor that you're going after, or maybe you're just deciding, look, right, with the Ten of Pentacles as well, maybe you're just saying, no, I want to do more, I want to have more, I want to enhance myself so that I can create more abundance and blessings and joy for myself. Then you've got the Seven of Swords, right? And this is interesting to me for a couple see that. This is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. It's called the Seven of Athames in this deck. This is interesting to me because the Seven of Swords is not just lies that other people tell us. Sometimes it's lies that we tell ourselves. With this this Ten of Pentacles, This could be you rewriting your own financial history. It could be you rewriting or rephrasing how somebody has sold something to you, or a lie that you bought into. Money doesn't grow on trees. You shouldn't doll yourself up too much, because then people think that you love yourself. Well, why wouldn't they? And why shouldn't they feel that you love yourself? Right? If you can't love yourself, as Mama Ru says, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? And more importantly, if you don't value you, Venus's values and worth, why is anybody else going to give you that same value? So this could literally be you getting rid of, or at least addressing, something from your Ten of Pentacles, which would be your heritage, the things that have been passed on to you as a legacy. You could be rewriting those now and saying, yeah, we were always told that, you can't be, we're not going to be rich. Or, whatever it is, like all the stuff, all the things, right? This could be addressing that. And, this Venus could really give you a boost to say, actually, you can have and be and do whatever the fuck you please, all right? As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're willing to work for it, have what you like, okay? Now, on the 11th of May, the moon, Lunar, and you guys are my moon sign, my lunar brothers and sisters, because I have moon in Cancer, and I'm very proud of that fact, as many of you know. The moon is going to conjunct Pluto, right? Happens once a month, not necessarily a big deal on its own, but this moon conjunct Pluto is in an opposition to Mars, and it's a dissociated opposition. So I know you're probably thinking, but Mars is in Cancer. Yes, it is in Cancer. You are going to feel this. The moon is your ruler. Mars is in your sign. And the moon, your ruler, is going to conjunct Pluto. Now, it's not by direct, by sign, it's by orb, right? So it's within the orb to be considered an opposition. And that's why I've highlighted this specific transit. This for you, that conjunction, moon Pluto, is happening in your 8th house of other people's money, but it's also your wounds, your traumas. It's potentially the stuff that we kind of want to hide away from. It's the taboo, it's sex and sensuality, it's all of that. Something might come spilling out of you, and you might just kind of lose your head and be like, you know what, I got to go out and get laid. Maybe you're not that kind of person, but around this time you're like, you know what, listen, it just needs to happen, right? Like, maybe it's that. It could as well. So because it's happening in the 8th, I would say, because the 8th is a house of purging as well. And whether this is tears, the tummy, or a tantrum, probably all three, if you're anything like myself. Right, which is likely because it's in the 8th house. It's potentially way more intense because of the factors that, the moon is your ruler, Mars is in your sign, so you could be feeling this more than most. Now, the transit window for this is going to be the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. So just a heads up, all right? Now, for this, you've got the Knight of Swords, so potentially some harsh conversation / communication with the Queen of Pentacles, so an Earth sign woman, Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo. Potential, not guarantee. And then you've got this with the Queen of Wands. So there's a few ways that this could show up, right? 2 queens represent sincere friends. So this could be a bust up with a sincere friend, with someone that you really value. Maybe someone pushes you too far on something and you blow up and you lose your shit, and it, kind of is what it is. Equally, a friend, a sincere friend, could say to you, could present you with potentially an opportunity to get ahead, to make more money, whatever the case might be, but it really requires you to dig deep and get past some personal hurdle, something that activates you in a way that you're like, oh, I don't really want anybody to know this, but actually this is a problem or an issue for me because ... Now, it is the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. That's earth and fire. Earth and fire bring my desire. Okay, so there is that. It's just, and this is why I say, because it's the 8th house, which is a sex house. Sex, primal sensuality, the things that you want to, I'm not going to say the word, but, the things that you want to, for your Next transit, sorry, before I do this, is going to be on the 16th of May. Jupiter, the lord of growth, expansion, abundance, levity, luck, prophecy, vision, are coming into the 11th house. Now, the 11th house is really, really nice. And because this is amplifying your connections to other people, to social groups, to social connections, and or social media, this could be, and Jupiter rules dignitaries, right? People that are movers and shakers, people that are higher ups, you know, kings, queens, all of that kind of stuff. This could be a benefactor of some sort that comes in to really help and or support you. And this is going to be a 12-month transit, right? So it's coming into the sign of Taurus. It's not just, yeah, it happens on the day and it's done. It's going to be there for 12 months, really doing some great things, bringing new opportunities to connect with people, potentially as well, really helping you achieve some of your bigger or longer term, further reaching goals and enhance your earning potential, because the 11th house is the gains that you get from your career. So lots of stuff to like about this one, and the chart for this day, the 16th of May, is actually one of the nicer ones. So yes, there's stuff in the background, because I know someone's going to look at the chart and be like, well, actually, this is going on at the same time. Yes, I'm fully aware. There's no such thing as a perfect chart where there's nothing, you know, potentially challenging or gnarly going on. But the chart in and of itself is actually quite a nice one. So if you can get over, yeah. So for this, you've got the Ace of Wands. Potentially bringing a very creative energy in here as well. Definitely new opportunities to get ahead. You've got this with the Queen of Cups. Now, there is one thing that I want to talk about, and because the Three Queens represents deception by women. Potentially. Doesn't have to be, but one thing that I will say to you, the challenge sometimes with Jupiter, it will promise too much. And it's kind of like, I see Jupiter as like, you know, I don't know if you remember those things where they let people go into a supermarket and you have to grab everything that you can, right? If you did that with just your hands, what's going to happen? Eventually, you know, because you're human, you just, yeah, more. What happens? You end up dropping something. This might be where something is overpromised, or potentially you overextend yourself. Be careful about that. And then finally, this comes up with the Eight of Pentacles. Excuse me. There's a chance for you to get ahead here. There really is. And this could potentially bring new work. If you're not of working age or you're retired, etc., this could bring just new opportunities for you to find a new use or value for yourself. All right. And potentially repurpose some old skills that you love. So really great. Watch out for, and not, you know, watch out for, but like watch out for connecting with or meeting people that are Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius woman, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio woman. The water sign woman, she will likely bring you an opportunity this month, and it could be a very good one. And then finally, for the 21st of May, you have Mars moving finally out of your sign and into the sign of Leo, right? And this is moving into your second house of money, finances, resources. Mars is bringing an energy here of desire to get back on, to get ahead and to get what you want. It's really kind of making you more proactive about your money, about your resources. It's going to see you kind of going in, and it will see you making more money for a while, but potentially it also sees you spending more money. So Mars in the second, it can ramp up production, you end up making more money and you're like, yeah. But then because it's impulsive energy, you might start spending more money as well. So try to manage that. It's in a sextile to the sun in your 12th house of Gemini, which means that old opportunities to make money come back into your world. So something that was maybe once on the table that either didn't go ahead, maybe you didn't have the time for it, maybe you weren't free for it, or maybe you just kind of thought, this isn't the right thing for me at the moment. It could come back around, so that's great. It is, however, opposing Pluto in the sky at the time. It will be easy to overextend or overpromise at this time, and I urge you not to, right? Especially because the sun in the 11th suggests that you'll commit to something and then regret it because of all of the other stuff that's going on, and you won't be able to back out of it. This is kind of like, once you're in, you're going to have to be in, all right? For this, you've got the Moon card. Yeah, just be that. I mean, the Moon card is the past, right? The Two of Pentacles, that's past money, past lucrative messages, moments, and experiences potentially coming back into your world. Love that. I mean, it's so literal as well. And then you've got the Lovers card. So you're having to make a choice here, and there's potentially a financial partnership and or commitment on the horizon for you, but it's not one that's brand new. This has already come up for you somewhere. I really feel that for some of you, this might be repurposing an old skill or old skill set, especially because of what's come up previously. Okay, so that's your transits. Let's have a look at the weeks of your month. For the first week of the month, you have, okay, put them down. Oh, look, right, you've got the Sun card. Beautiful. Love this. So that first week of the month, there are blessings that abound for you, right? That first week of the month, things are good. They're in a good space. They're warm, they're open, potentially very vibrant, which, you know, we love vibrancy. For the second week of the month, you've got the Hanged Man, right? So the mojo, or, you know, they say what you lose on the roundabout, you gain on the swing. This is very much that. And that second week of the month, I urge you to take your time, right? Consider everything that's offered to you, everything that's put on the table, everything that's kind of presented. Just consider it and ask yourself, does this sit right? Does this feel right at the moment? Then you've got the Lovers card. Now, the Lovers card came up already in the previous spread, in the, around this 21st of May energy, with that Mars moving into the second. And I say to you, you got a decision to make, right? This third week of the month, as we come into what's going to be Gemini season, you may very well find that you are presented with two paths and or potentially two people, two companies, two roles, two offers, etc. And you're having to make a choice. Don't make it by, don't make it with your feelings. Make it like you got to be a bit more objective with this one. And I know usually Cancer's gut is 100, right? Because I am a Cancer moon and I go by my gut most of the time. But every so often, we're supposed to lead with a bit more than that, right? And so maybe you're supposed to go with the heart. Maybe you're supposed to follow what feels a little bit improbable. What is going to be the challenge? What is going to be the, just to... You got the Strength card here for the fourth week of the month, which is also speaking to this... potentially this need or this desire to do something bold, to do something in a much bigger way, or to go after something that you wouldn't usually allow yourself to have. I love it. Cancer's showing up to compete. All right. And then finally, for your moons. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail with the moons, obviously, because you're going to get your full moon and your new moon reports, right? So the new moon in the sign of Taurus. For you, you have... Ooh, okay. And the cards have spoken. Way too many cards have spoken. So I'm going to take the first two. That is them. All right. Yes. So, your new moon message is the gate 11 and ideas. And the message behind this card, we call this here in the UK a dandelion clock. And it's like, when you blow on it and the seeds flitter off. And the message behind this card is basically that new moon in Taurus is trying to show you, and especially because you've got Jupiter coming into that 11th house as well, you don't know how big, how far, how wide some of your ideas can go. And that new moon is really going to get you to tap into this idea of envisioning something much bigger for yourself. So tap into it. And then you've got the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, which is going to be fun for everyone, I can assure you. Right, that's going to wake us all up. For this, we've got the gate 3 and begin. And the message behind this card is basically whatever has a difficult beginning tends to go on and be very successful or sustainable, right? So that's an acorn seed. And if you've seen an oak tree, look how mighty those things can become from that tiny little acorn. So that's the message, right? The full moon is basically saying whatever difficulties you have around that full moon, just know that something bigger is being seeded for you, and it requires that little bit of struggle or effort for you to move beyond. All right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.